And why I really love to focus on the subconscious is because this is where we get tripped up. This is where our conditioning is programmed. Just like a computer, we, have programs that run in our computer and they only do what they do. You can't open Microsoft Word and have it do something that it doesn't do. And so our inner programs that we've literally been downloaded, programmed to think in certain ways, to believe in certain ways, and that even comes into our nervous system, into our physiology. So we might have, or you might have something that happens externally that takes you physiologically back to being 7 years old, 5 years old, 12 years old. And this happens instantly, it happens subconsciously, and we can call these triggers. And sometimes it's not until after the fact that we're aware of our triggers that we're like, oh my gosh, that really activated me, that really upset me, that really made me angry, sad, mad, whatever it might be. And triggers aren't bad or wrong. It's just an opportunity to see, where is the consciousness not flowing through? Where is there not an opening for consciousness to move through? That will be psychological, that will be emotional, that will even be physical. And what happens to create dis-ease in Ayurvedic medicine, we understand that when the channels, the nadis, and srotas, we also call them in Ayurveda, when they are not open in their most natural form, then there is blockage, there is stagnation, and we know that pain is a representation, a manifestation of stagnant energy. So we understand that when our consciousness is not flowing, well, then we create dis-ease, pain, and sometimes even full-blown symptoms and disease in the body. So this is why I have come to understand, experience, and know for myself through my own dis-ease of a 10-year autoimmune condition, through my own divorce that felt like the most grueling thing I'd ever walked through at the time, and through the suicide of my partner, not my first marriage, my partner who killed himself quite suddenly and unexpectedly. All of these initiations were places where it was revealed to me where my consciousness was not open, expanded. And this is what we can call pain, psychological pain, emotional pain. We're all going to have this in our life in different ways and in different forms. So when you have a challenge, you can welcome it in, because that is life bringing you an experience that, if you choose, will expand your consciousness, if you want to use it that way. You don't have to, but I can tell you that using the pain in your life as fertilizer, so to speak, as using that shit to literally regrow. And we see this in gardening and in farming, where fertilizer is used to grow something new. It's very potent. I'm not a gardener or a farmer, but this is what I understand, that the fertilizer is actually supporting. So that old crap, that old muck is used to support the growth of something new. And what a beautiful, beautiful analogy. In the Vedic sciences, we talk about the 3 forms of energy. So we have creation. This is the energy of Brahma, or creator. We have the energy of sustenance, of sustaining, and this is exemplified by Vishnu, the energy of sustaining. And then we have Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer. So we have this cycle, and all things in our life cycle through this. So you can pause right now and feel inside of which of those energies are you in your life right now. Is this the energy of creation, of Brahma? The energy of, are you sustaining or maintaining, Vishnu? Or the energy of destruction, of things coming to a close, of falling apart, the energy of Shiva? And one is not better than the other. So feel into your truth around that. It could be even a combination. It's not linear, and it doesn't always follow that linear track, right? We can go into creation, sustenance, and destruction in 30 seconds, in a day, in a week, in a year, in a decade. It can be literally instantaneous. But just tuning in to see, where am I right now? Am I in a real energy of freshness, of newness, of that creation? Am I in an energy of like, okay, I'm just stabilizing? And not to confuse that sustaining with complacency, right? Sustaining and complacency are different. So when things are actually beginning to get stuck, it's old, you know, on some level that you're done or it's time to shift, but you don't. I was speaking with a woman recently who told me that she goes to a job every week that she does not like, that her body literally contracts and tenses, and she has pain and her chest collapses going to this job. And that she knew many years ago when she was studying for this profession, she had that intuitive hit that this isn't for me, and overrode it and kept overriding this deeper knowing, to come to this day of feeling so dissatisfied, so disconnected, and ultimately disempowered to make any change, because it's just become normal. It's become normal not to feel this good. It's become normal to get up and go to a job that she feels disconnected and dissatisfied in. And the only thing keeping her in a life, in a job of using her life force every day in something that she doesn't feel satisfied in, was fear of the unknown. Well, what if I don't have enough? What if I don't have enough money? What if, what if, what if? So when we see that we are operating out of fear, we have disconnected from ourselves, and we have disconnected from the energy of creation. We've disconnected from the consciousness that created us. And we are all going to operate out of fear at certain times. But when we catch it, when we go, oh my gosh, that's that fear thought, that's that fear belief. I'm operating, I'm choosing out of fear of not knowing what will come. Then we know we've disconnected, because when we trust in our own willingness and courage to listen to the impulses, that inspiration from higher self, God, spirit, source. And then when we follow those impulses, we're allowing life to move through us. It's when we disregard, ignore, betray ourselves, when we have the impulse, when we have the knowing, and then we logically or practically go, oh, no, but that I can't, because. That to me is the recipe for dis-ease, disconnect, unhappiness, discontentment. And most people, it's so subtle, because life is good, right? And we're supposed to be grateful, right? Life is okay enough. So we hover at the like just below the bottom, or maybe it's even here. We're hovering here. And so this is almost a more dangerous place to live, because things are okay. There's no real need. There's no real necessity to change. There's no real necessity to like wake up, right? So we just cruise. Oh, things are pretty good. Oh, I should be grateful. I have this, I have that, or, things are okay. This is not the time to live in okay. This is not the time to live in toleration. This is not the time to keep accepting what you know on a soul level is not correct for you. Does that make sense?